Hi everyone, it's Lynn Terry. Also,
hey, sorry, this is Lynn Terry down here in the corner. Anyway, I just got through doing a live video inside my challenge group. It's a Facebook group for the 90-day low carb challenge. And I wanted to share it with you guys here as well on my page because we had a really good discussion. And yes, I did change my sweater. I'm having a clothes problem lately, which is I find that a lot of the times I'll change seasons, and like the sweater that I had on earlier when I did the video is like huge and boxy but it's so hard to let go of your favorite sweaters. Even when you like undergrow them, you don't outgrow them, like you shrink. Anyway, so I changed sweaters. Anyway, so I just did this video in my group and it was a lot of fun and we talked about a lot of really cool things and I want to share it with you here as well. So I'm going to close my little window and I'm going to share this with you, and it's some really good stuff. I think you're really going to enjoy it. So here goes.
Low Carb Traveler and host of the 90-day Low Carb Challenge, and I wanted to pop on because it is day one of our
winter low carb challenge. I added the link to the challenge at the description of this video. So if you're just kind of finding out about it or you're getting a late start, that's totally okay. People join in all the time, and anytime you join in is fine. Just pop right in, get started, read the pinned post at the top of the Facebook group if you're participating in the group. And so if you have any questions, just let me know. But I specifically wanted to pop on live so that I could answer a couple of questions and see if you had any questions. Hang on one second. I clicked the wrong thing. All right, so I am trying to, again, I had this problem the last time. I can't see your live comment. So just leave a comment or a question and I'll come back and answer it afterwards. So want to make this kind of quick, but want to encourage you to get excited about this year-end challenge together. It's just a few weeks. It's just 64 days. We can all do this and power through this very last bit of the end of the year together, because you're going to get a head start on the new year. You're not going to close out this year with regrets. That's going to be a really good feeling. You're going to close out this year feeling accomplished and feeling like you really got something done and did something for yourself. Not to mention, you will look pretty smoking hot at New Year's, which is always a bonus and good motivation and incentive. Also, I am hosting live low carb classes tomorrow, and those are going to be super fun. And I have some interesting concepts to share with you that I think that you'll find really helpful in terms of, you know, staying on track and not getting derailed so easily, and finding your motivation and breaking old habits and old patterns and really making this a lifestyle. For those of you that are new to me or to the challenge or to traveling low carb, you may not know I've been doing a ketogenic low carb diet for 7.5 years. There's a lot of confusion about Atkins versus keto versus low carb. So we're going to straighten all that out too, because I think it's incredibly important not to create, you know, so much segmentation among people within the group, but to really understand the concept of what we're doing and why we're doing it. And that's why I put together so many getting started links and so much helpful information together for you in the low carb challenge post. So that is, again, linked here with the video, so you can go and read that when we're done, and also check out the classes that I'm hosting tomorrow. For those of you who can't tune in live tomorrow, they will be recorded and you will have indefinite access to the replays to watch at your leisure or on your own schedule if you prefer, so that's fine too. But if you want to tune in live, you want to make sure and get registered pretty quick. So there's only 100 seats per live session. So I'm going to do 2. I'm going to do 1 and do an encore session. They'll both be different. You'll get access to the recordings of both as well. So we're going to talk about a lot of fun things, but what I wanted to do tonight is pop on and check in and see how you're doing. How did day 1 go? How do you feel? And I want you to always remember, if you mess up, you know, like if something happens or you eat something you don't realize how many carbs it has, or you just, you know, give in or whatever the case, always just start over right then. Don't ever just like blow the whole day and say, I'll just start all over tomorrow. Right now is all that ever really matters, ever. So if you think about it, like you're thinking about tomorrow, tomorrow doesn't exist yet. You're thinking about what you did yesterday. Yesterday's over and you can't do anything about it. The absolute only thing you ever have any control over is this moment you're in. So I want you to get like, not very foo-foo or whatever, but I want you to get grounded in that, this moment right now, living in the moment and being very mindful of the moment you're in. In this moment I'm in, I am going to be a low carb person, or I'm going to stick to my health goals, or whatever your particular thing is, right? And even if something bad just happened, it already happened. You can't change it. But what you choose from that point forward or in this moment matters all the time. So it's not the one thing you do wrong that screws up our health or makes us gain weight or gives us inflammatory arthritis. I have a lot of, have had to deal with a lot of those issues over the years. It's not one day or one bad choice I made that caused all those problems. It was a cumulative effect of, I'll start tomorrow, I'll start next Monday, I'll start next month, I'll start in January, and you never really do, because you live in this moment. And so long as you're putting yourself and your goals off to a whole different time that doesn't even exist, it's never actually going to happen. Anyway, so I want to talk about some simple stuff, because I asked in the group earlier today what your biggest challenges or struggles were, and you guys had some great answers. Some really great answers. And I found it really helpful in terms of how I can best help you, since I've been doing this for a while. Because I really screwed up a lot in the beginning, just learning it, figuring it out as I went, winging it, that kind of thing. Going back, though, to being mindful and living in the moment, that was one of the things that came up in the thread in the group. Was one of the biggest challenges or struggles or frustrations was tracking and macros. So what I do is I keep the app on my phone. Now, I log online too, so you guys see my food diaries at travelinglowcarb.com. I publish them there, and I publish my MyFitnessPal diaries. But when I'm on the go, I just log on the go. Or if I'm in the kitchen, it's handy to use my phone and use the app. And the great thing about that is I actually log everything before I eat it. So that it makes me very mindful of the portions I'm putting on my plate, or I log it as I'm making it and eating it, that kind of thing. And the thing about tracking is I'm in such a habit of it that it doesn't seem like an extra effort. It becomes a routine or part of your habit. It becomes easy and fast to do. It doesn't, it doesn't always take as long as it does in the beginning when you're just figuring out how to do it. And I have some really good tips on macros and tracking and all that kind of stuff for you as well. And that's in the challenge post that I linked to you for you here with this video. Anyway, that's one of the great things about tracking is I find myself so incredibly mindful of what I'm eating, portion control, all that kind of stuff, because I've already logged it. And if you think macro tracking or logging your meals or whatever is a pain in the buttons, then imagine if, okay, I'm going to eat 30 grams of pecans and you end up eating the whole bag, then you have to go back and log the right amount, right? So don't just don't. Like, to me, half the time, if I'm sitting there like eating some low carb ice cream and I could eat the whole pint, but I'm like, then I have to get up and go log the other 3 servings that are in this pint or whatever. So I'm just like, I don't even want to bother. But I really end up sticking to what I log, so I find that's one that's really helpful. So I want to give you guys some examples too, because I want you to keep it super simple. I'm not an ingredient snob. And I know some people are, and that's okay. And if you are, because for health reasons, or for personal choice reasons, or for religious reasons, or for you have intolerances or allergies, that's totally okay. Everyone is completely free to feel how they want to feel about those types of things. For me, I always keep it super simple. I try to eat as plain and clean and healthy as I can. That's not always possible when I'm running through an airport or, just trying to get by or whatever. In fact, I've had a very long day. Some of you know that follow my blog. Mondays are a very long work day for me, so I don't get off work until 8, and I actually got up at 3:30 this morning. I'm hungry, so I just made a shake. And so that's it. This is my favorite. You guys have seen me. I've gotten hooked on these. Anyway, so these are good, by the way. If you want to know about it, just type shake in the comments and I'll come back and give you the link. I have a discount code for them. But I've gotten hooked on these because for the convenience and the tumbler, they have the tumbler too. but I add either hot coffee or cold water, depending on if I want like a morning shake, a hot morning shake, and it's cold outside, or, if I want like a nice cold shake. Some people add like raspberries and avocado and unsweetened almond milk and different things too. I mean, you can have all kinds of fun with the shakes. The reason, though, let me tell you, besides being lazy and wanting to drink my dinner, I'm going to have some other stuff too, and I'll show you what I'm going to have if you want. Anyway, but the reason that I've really gotten hooked on these shakes and started drinking them daily is because they have collagen in them. And so this is totally an ego thing. Not only is it super clean and it's a keto shake, not a protein shake. We don't need protein shakes. Unless you are looking to bulk up, you don't need protein shakes. In fact, you want to limit your protein to 25% max of your total daily calories. So this keto shake has MCT in it, the coconut oil. It has collagen in it. And I'm having this problem with my hair, and I'm on strike about my hair, so I need to go get it cut and, all that stuff. But I went through a round of medication about a year ago, and it was 3 rounds of antibiotics and 2 rounds of steroids. And ever since then, my hair has just been like, it feels stiff. It's not as soft as it used to be, and it's not growing as fast as it used to. So I'm drinking these daily because they're chock full of collagen, which helps your skin. I am 45, so it's like I should have started this thing 10 years ago. Anyways, so that's what I'm having right now. Since I just got done working, I made that super quick. And I also brought some things in here because I thought I'm going to pop on here and say hi to you guys before it gets too late, but I'm hungry. But actually, it might be beneficial if I show you what I have and what I'm going to eat and why and how. Because I'm tired, it's been a long day, and what do? That's when you're like, whatever's in front of me, right? So it's good to keep things on hand. Now, one of the complaints too that in the thread of the struggles, frustrations is keto snacks get expensive. I agree, 100%. If you were going to live on products that had the keto name on them or that were titled as keto foods, that gets expensive. The great thing about eating low carb is you can just eat the simplest foods out there, super simple, real foods. I prefer these shakes that I order online to anything I found in the grocery store, except every once in a while at the GNC store, they have a total lean strawberry shake that I just crave because it reminds me of strawberry milk when I was a kid. Now, those things are good, like especially in the spring or in the summer when you're kind of wanting a milkshake, but it reminds me of strawberry milk. So those are at the GNC store. But otherwise, any of the shakes on the shelf on the market, a lot of them have soy in them. And we have to be careful about soy. I think for women, it's a thyroid issue. For men, it's a testosterone issue. I'm not a health expert. I don't know. You can look it up yourself. But apparently, we're supposed to avoid that. But a lot of the shakes on the market have that in them. And so that's a no-no. Anyway, so I want to talk about, I want to talk about grab and go stuff. Like that's not stuff you have to buy, specialty or whatever, but like regular everyday store stuff. But I also want to talk about dinner. Because I think dinner is a real struggle for a lot of people. If you're at work and you go get lunch or you pack your lunch, you're in total control, right, of what you're eating, and you can keep it low carb. Breakfast is probably pretty simple too. Everybody fend for yourself. I got to get to work, right? Dinner is where it becomes a challenge. And I read this a lot in our thread earlier because you have a family to cook for or eat with, either or, whoever's doing the cooking, which it could be anybody these days. Like there was a point where my teenage son did a lot of the cooking around the house. So anyway, here's the thing. I have had, children in the house. I've had a super full house. Now I have an empty house. I've had friends that I've eaten with, etc. I always make it work. And this is my simple formula. Are you ready? Meat and green, and then a starch for everybody else. That's it. Every meal can be a meat and a green, and then you can make some kind of starch for everybody else. And it's actually really good. Like people, like if you make chicken thighs in the oven, like with the skin on and put butter pats on them, I have a recipe for that. If you want that, just say chicken thighs. Leave a comment for that, and I'll give you my perfectly baked chicken thighs. Anyways, they're crispy and they're delicious and they're fattening, and everybody loves that, right? Which is good for us, better than chicken breast. Anyways, so then you make that, and let's say you make a green vegetable, like you make broccoli or cucumber salad, or maybe you have for yourself just one of those things of raw spinach, baby spinach, if you like baby spinach, and make your thing. And then, then like if you have teenagers in the house, say, hey, if you guys want potatoes with dinner, will you come in here and peel them and mash them? Get them involved in the kitchen and make them do the starchy stuff. So, potatoes are not a bad food. It's not bad, if your family can be like more paleo, or, that kind of thing. Or maybe you want to make carrots in the roast or whatever, but then you're only going to eat the beef and then make yourself a salad to go with it. But just be prepared. And the simple formula when you're eating with a family or a group of people is always have a meat and a grain. Even if that grain is something simple you keep stored, like fresh baby spinach or cucumber salad, or maybe you do steamed broccoli and you just scoop some out for yourself and heat it up or whatever. But as long as you can just do a meat and a green, then whatever else is on the table is, not your concern. That makes it easy. Anyways, the other thing for me, sometimes I'm too tired. I mean, it's been a long day, this kind of thing. And I do get fast food quite a bit. Like I'll get cheeseburger patties from Burger King, or I'll get sausage and egg patties only from McDonald's or whatever. Like I said, I'm not an ingredient snob as long as I'm within my macros. And I do try to keep it clean and healthy, but there are just times when that's not going to happen. Anyway, so I want to talk about like having things on hand. Pecan halves are really good. They're one of the lowest carb, highest fat nuts that you can just buy at the local grocery store. They're also much easier on my teeth. Like I like macadamia nuts too. Those are really nice, but they're a little harder on my teeth. And then there's almonds kill my teeth for some reason, and they get all in my teeth and stuff. But another thing, like here, I'm going to tell you what I'm about to eat, because this is 300 calories. So this is good, and it actually fills me up and holds me over. I could go to bed on this and be fine. But I am going to eat a little something solid because I didn't have much lunch today. So I picked this up at the store because I don't have to cook this chicken. I was, going to buy something out of the meat section, like chicken or pork or steak or this or that or whatever. But I was like, just forget it. I was like, this is a very busy week. I just got back from Atlanta. I have a super full work week, and then I'm heading to Johnson City next, and who knows what in between, right? So anyway, it's just Oscar Mayer Deli Fresh rotisserie seasoned chicken breast or whatever. So what you do with the mobile app, you see there's a barcode right there. Yeah. So there's a barcode right there. So you can actually just use the MyFitnessPal app and scan that in. But with MyFitnessPal, most people have entered those things in themselves, and a lot of them are wrong. And so what you want to do is double check it, make sure, like look at the label, make sure that the calories, the fat, the carbs, the protein, and all that is correct or whatever, right? So the other thing is serving sizes. That's super important. So you have 2 ounces of this is 1 carb. I'm good with that. So I am not even going to read the ingredients. If it has something I can't pronounce, I really don't care. I'm hungry. I'm just not that picky. Anyway, so how much is 2 ounces? That's the question, because that was what really, sorry for all the racket. That was what really threw me off in the beginning. So I finally gave up guesstimating because I'm not good at that, and got this thing. And pardon the fact that my house guests have decided to use a knife on it, which didn't make me happy, but I have this rule at my house, which is if somebody else is doing it, I don't get to have any say about how it's done. So if I have a house guest that wants to cook me dinner and they slice up my kitchen scale, I'm like, it's cool. You're making me dinner. It's good. I'm not going to say a word. That's my rule, though. So if you want to come over and do my dishes, you're more than welcome to load the dishwasher however you please, and I won't say a thing about it. Anyway, let me just tell you, is inexpensive. It's cheap. It was cheap, but we'll say it's inexpensive because that sounds nicer. Comes in colors, so you could get fancy with it and match your kitchen. So I wish I would have ordered a red one. It is super accurate. It's handy. It's not huge or anything, so it's not in the way in the kitchen. You can just stuff it in the drawer. But I've had mine for years and have never had to change the batteries yet. It's really good and it's inexpensive. So if you want the link to this, because I got it on Amazon, just type kitchen scale and I'll come back and give you the link to it. Anyway, so that's what I use, and you just turn it on and you can do all kinds of stuff with it. But it says 2 ounces of this meat is 1 carb. So that's what I'm going to have. And that's what I logged, and I've already logged it. So that's all I'm eating because like I said, it makes you more accountable. So I'm just going to guesstimate here because I hate this a lot. Oh, it's 2.08. That will never do. The 08 matters. If you think the 08 does not matter on your kitchen scale, think about how much it matters on your digital scales when you're weighing yourself. If you weigh 172.8, you count that 0.8, don't you? Yes, you do. So you count it when you're weighing your food too. So let me get it down here to the exact amount. Got it. All right, so now I have weighed it out. There we go. I logged it in my fitness pal like that. And you know what I'm going to have with this? String cheese that I picked up the last time I was at Starbucks because it was sitting there. And I thought I was hungry, but the Starbucks filled me up because they put heavy whipping cream in my coffee, which is like 400 calories. And I didn't end up eating the cheese. So can you live on that? Chicken and cheese? I'm good with that. I'm tired. But it's, like in the old days, it could have been like a bag of pretzels and I'm going to bed, and so I'm not going to do that. So I might dip it in mayonnaise or make a little something like with spicy mayo or something to dip it in or whatever, but I'm good to just eat string cheese and chicken. I'm pretty okay with that, especially because my chocolate shake has 300 calories in it too, and it's pretty filling. So keeping it that simple, just keeping things like that on hand, you can just have some string cheese on hand, have some, some meat cuts, salami, different, whatever you like. I have to kind of go with the sliced chicken instead of salami and pepperoni because for some reason, those types of things, like the processed sausages, like salami, pepperoni, all that kind of stuff, for some reason that stalls my weight loss. Nothing to do with the sodium because there are other things I eat that are very high sodium. But it's just, I don't know, something maybe in an ingredient or a preservative or something. Who knows? I haven't tested that yet. Anyway, I didn't want to keep you on too long. I just wanted to talk about keeping it super simple. There's lots of other things. Water. How much water should you drink? Please do not drink half your body weight in water. Please do not drink a gallon of water a day just because someone said you should. Please do not participate in, water chugs or whatever. There's a very real thing called water intoxication. That is also in the Getting Started links in the challenge info. So please read the link to the challenge details. Because in the past, I've been running this challenge for so many years, several times a year, and I've had in the past people complain of symptoms that were early signs of water intoxication. And so here comes my disclaimer. I am not a doctor. I'm not your mother. That, you should always speak to your, your doctor, your nutritionist, et cetera, if you're having any kind of problems or symptoms or anything like that. But it's a lot of myths floating around about what you should eat, what you should do, when you should eat, how much water you should drink, yada, yada, blah, blah. So my advice is keep it simple. Listen to your body. Eat when you're hungry. Don't eat when you're not hungry. Do 20 net carbs max, 70% fat minimum. Drink when you're thirsty.
Don't force yourself to drink when you're not. The fact is, when they came up with that thing about drinking 64 ounces of water a day, 8 8-ounce glasses is 64 ounces. What nobody picked up that it also says is the majority of that water will come from your food. So a lot of your foods have high water content, unless you're just eating like McDonald's all the time. But things like broccoli, spinach, like if you have to make a spinach recipe, for example, and you have to like wring that spinach out, like I have to do that, like squeeze all the water out of it. You're like, wow, there's not this much spinach left. There's a lot of water in your food. Like you're eating cucumbers and broccoli and cauliflower and spinach. Have you ever taken like cauliflower and roasted it? Let's say florets, like you just pull all the florets off and it looks like a lot of cauliflower, right? And then you roast it in the oven for a good little while and you're like, wow, that's all that's left. That's because the majority of your 64 ounces of water a day that are recommended actually meant to come from good to low carb vegetables. Anyways, so I don't want to keep you. I just wanted to pop on and encourage you and check in and see how things are going for day one. Also want to make sure that you know about the low carb classes I'm hosting tomorrow. They will be live. There will be 2 because I want to try to accommodate as many people's schedules as possible. They will both be recorded, so you'll have access to watch them again and again or on your own schedule at your own leisure if you want to wait till this weekend. And I haven't told anybody else this yet. but I'm planning to do a bonus class on Saturday. No, actually I'm traveling Saturday. I'll figure out when I'm going to do it. So now I have to change that because everything's changing with my schedule, but I'm planning to do a bonus class too. So stay tuned for news on that. And, but I would love for you to attend the class live if you can tomorrow. The link is here with this video on the description. And if you can't find it, just leave a comment and ask me. Anyway, I want to encourage you to like keep it simple. Like just keep things around that you can grab and go. I do pecans a lot, like I said, and I'm good to dip some pecans in almond butter and have a string cheese with it, those kinds of things to power through a really long afternoon. But it doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be expensive. You can meal prep, and I think that's a really good thing to do. I'm not good about doing it. I wish that I was, because it's so convenient. Like if I make up a big batch of like crustless quiche and muffin pans, so you have these like individual like spinach, egg, cheddar, and chives or whatever, crustless quiche muffin thing or majigs. You have like this whole pan of them to eat on all week. I'm good with that. But I just don't get around to doing it. But that's a good idea, so that you have things on hand for when you think at the last minute, I'm going to eat that XYZ, but don't. So always bring yourself back into this moment you're in. It's the only one that exists. You're right now. And really stay focused on your decision. My decision right now is to eat this. So you're not saying to yourself, I'm never, ever, ever going to have a piece of birthday cake on my birthday again. You're not saying that, although I haven't since I went low carb. And I don't care, which is great. But in the beginning, if I would have had to tell myself that, I think that would have been a big deterrent. All you have to do is right now make the choice that I want to stick to my health goals. I want to see what it feels like to reach my goals. I want to see what it feels like to be size whatever, or do you know what? I found that out, and I get chills. I'm going to cry because I'm a softie, but I found out what it feels like to be that size, and it was but before I got sick last year, I got down to a size 4. And I was a little bit thin for a woman in her 40s, in my personal opinion, because I'm a traditional Southern woman, but it was just where my body went. And I was strong, and I was lean, and I built up some muscle tone and some strength. And I'm going to cry. I'm excited to get back there again, because I know I felt what it felt like to feel strong and capable and to accomplish my goals and have that sense that I can do anything. Because I did. Anyway, we're going to have to close this out because I'm getting all emotional. It's such an amazing thing you're doing for yourself. I'm so glad you joined us in this challenge. The reason that I host this challenge is because I want to share this with everybody. I want everybody to have the opportunity to be the happiest, healthiest version of yourself you possibly can. So with that, I'm going to say bye for now. And this has been day 1 of the low carb challenge. If you have comments, questions, if you want my shake, you can't have it. I'm drinking it, but I'll give you a link where you can get them. If you need a kitchen scale, let me know. This one's cheap. It's inexpensive. But anyway, it is. It's a really good deal. And it's been super great. I've had it for ages, as you can tell. Anything else you need? Any questions you have? Anything you're struggling with? Whatever. Leave a comment, let me know, and I'll come back and answer those. And remember the simple dinner formula, because I know dinner is the biggest struggle for most of us. Dinner. A meat and a green. And then whatever else, the starch or whatever, So kids can make macaroni and cheese. Kids can make the pasta. Kids can make the potatoes. Kids can make the carrots. You can just say, hey, would you peel the carrots? You don't even have to touch a non-low carb vegetable. Bring family in. Get them to help you. Turn some music on. Dance in the kitchen. Make it an event. Make it fun. I will tell you, now that my children are raised and grown and out of the house, I miss them. I miss them so much. So if you do have family under your feet, getting in your way or whatever while you're making dinner in the kitchen, turn some music on and make a fun time of it. Enjoy it while it lasts. But if you're like me and you're eating alone, then there's nobody like looking at you and holding you accountable or whatever. So you hold yourself accountable. Anyway, hopefully that helps. I will be back, and I'll see some of you tomorrow for the low carb classes. The link is there here with this video, so get signed up and get registered and plan to join us there. As soon as you register for the classes, you will get access to the links. You can go ahead and test that. Make sure you download the app if you're going to do it on your mobile, or test the room on your laptop, or however you want to do it, so that you know you can get in on time tomorrow. All right, you guys, I'll see you back in the group and back at travelinglowcarb.com.
All right, I'm going to pause that, and I'm going to see if I can switch back over to camera. And apologies for eating in front of you. I am so hungry. I work late on Mondays. And so I'm finishing my chicken and cheese that I was talking about in that video. Anyway, I wanted to come on and share that with you because I felt like we had a really good discussion, and I didn't want you to miss it. In case you're not inside the group, there are some people that choose not to be, and that's okay. And as one final note, I make everything finger food. I've eaten broccoli with my fingers before, especially asparagus, and I like to dip it in mayo and call it green fries. That or crispy steamed green beans. I call them green fries. So everything's finger food at my house, as you can see. Anyway, thanks for joining in, and please leave me a comment. Let me know if you have any questions whatsoever. I'm happy to answer them. I want to help you in any way I possibly can. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, hopefully for the low carb class. Otherwise, I'll see you around the web.